Hey guys, I'm gonna go over with you how to tie a stinger hook, and I got this idea off of YouTube. These guys tie these stinger hooks for walleyes, and I decided to use their recommendations on how to tie a stinger hook and just make some changes, with some changes to how these things are tied just a little bit, that would suit me in the needs that I have for these stinger hooks. Now what I have here are some hand-tied stinger hooks. I just put some hair on them, and this one is a treble hook, and this one also was a treble hook, but I cut off one of the tines, so this only has 2 hooks on it. Okay, and here's another one, and each one is tied just a little bit different. Now this one is a single hook. As a matter of fact, this is I think this one is a worm hook that I tied, and each one again is just a little bit different, and I'm going to show you here basically how this works, and then we'll go over how to tie it. So what I have here, my little station, this is my flat tying station. It's the first one that I've had. So this is just like a starter. There's nothing fancy about this one, but basically what you do here, let's see if I can get in pretty good here on this one. And basically what you do, there is a loop. There's a loop here. I don't know if you can see the loop. We'll turn it over here a little bit, and this is the loop, okay, of the system. And what I'm going to do, and let's just say that this was a hook, and I put it over the hook, okay, and then when I pull on it, it goes tight, and there you have a nice assist hook. Okay, and if I just want to remove it, basically all I do here to remove it is I just pull on this, releases the loop, and I take the loop off. Okay, so let's just say that this jig head here, this jig head that I have here, I wanted to, this was a swim bait, and the hook is coming off the top of the swim bait. Well, basically all I do is take the loop, okay, and let me see if I can get a darker background for you. Okay, and basically all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this loop and put it over the hook, and I'm going to pull, and it draws tight. Okay, and there you have an assist hook. Okay, it's for those guys that like to short strike, those type of fish that like to short strike the bait. Well, this one here is relatively long, and you can make them at any length that you want. Okay, and I've made these just a little bit, each one is just a little bit different, but you get the idea, and we'll go over how to tie these. All right, just draw it tight. There it is. And then when I want to release it, just pull on it. Alright, so let me show you guys what you're going to need for this. Okay guys, let's go over what you're going to need to tie these stinger hooks. Alright, now, of course you're going to need a fishing line. Now, what I have here, what I'm using, what I found that works best for the type of fish that I'm going to catch is cigars. This is 15-pound test fluorocarbon, 100% fluorocarbon line. Now this is important. Now if I'm going for, I don't know, 15 to 20-pound fish, that I'm probably going to have to go up just a little bit higher on my assist line to go on my stinger. Now I will caution you this, is that if you go up to the higher test line, the line becomes a little bit less manageable, and also it tends to get bends and kinks in it. So you have to use what best suits your situation. But you're going to need some fishing line, and in this case, again, I'm using fluorocarbon. All right, now you're going to need. This is one of the most important things. You're going to need some crimps. All right, now what I'm using here is Bill Fisher's. These are double sleeves. Now the reason why I'm using the double sleeves is because if I'm working with maybe 20 to 30-pound test fluorocarbon, I need a larger sleeve, and this double sleeve affords me to use larger diameter line. Now, here's what's important about using sleeves. If you don't know, there's a number that's associated with the sleeve. Okay, in this case, this is a 1.0B sleeve, Bill Fisher sleeve, and if on the quality sleeves, on the back there's a guide. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but on the guide itself, what you're going to have is the sleeve ID, and what I have here is what I say a 1.0B. Well, if you follow it across, it will tell you the mono filament line that it goes with, and in this case, with a 1/B, it's 80. I think it's 80 to 100-pound test that will fit in that sleeve. Now, I'm not using 80 or 100-pound tests here, but that's important. So look at the sleeve that goes along with the fishing line or the fluorocarbon that you're going to use. I also have a single, and these single sleeves here work well with the 15-pound and the 20-pound test. And that's basically all I need. Okay. All right, you're going to need a good pair of crimps. Okay. This is a small pair. You can see how big it is, but they make them bigger. You have a little more leverage with the bigger ones, but I don't really need that. You're going to need a pair of scissors. Okay. And all right, so let's go over how to tie it. Okay. Okay guys, what I've done is I've already pre-tied my stinger hook, and I can actually use this two ways. I can use this as a stinger hook or a trailer hook in tandem with a jig, and that's probably how I'm going to run this, is run this off the tail end of this jig. Okay, now let's go over how to tie this. First we have to form our loop. Okay, let me I got too much line here, so I'll get rid of some of this line. Okay, and the first thing we want to do is form our loop, and basically all you're going to do is put the line through the sleeve and then send it back down to form your loop. Okay, and you send it back through. Okay, you send it back through, and that forms your loop. Now, what we have to do here is secure this tag in, so obviously it doesn't come back out. Now, there's several ways to do that. Okay, what you want to do is secure both ends. Okay, grab your tag in, pull everything tight, and you want to draw your sleeve up to the point of your first nail end. Okay, where you have your nail or your peg. Draw it up tight. All right, now here's the thing. There are two ways that you can secure this. One way is to just use an overhand knot, and that knot is going to end up right against this sleeve, and it shouldn't pull through. It's not going to pull through. Okay, now here's how you do that. And I can see if I could do this with my big old meaty hands, but you want to tie an overhand knot. Okay, okay, you tie an overhand knot. I have an overhand knot there. Take a small object, toothpick, a nail, and you want to walk that knot up. you want to just go ahead and pull, 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 pull until that knot gets right up against that sleeve. Okay, and then just pull tight, pull it out, and there you have it. Okay, and there's your stop. Okay. All right, and there's your stop. Now, this will work. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Now, some people don't feel too secure with that. And what they will do, let me find another sleeve here. And this is what I've done with mine. I like to use a second sleeve. It's not as clean as using a knot, but when I'm running this behind a jig with hair in it, it's not going to make a difference because most of this stuff is hidden in the hair of the jig anyway. But if you want to feel a little more secure, what you can do here is, for demonstration purposes, we've already tied that knot, okay? Just to save a little time, let's say that that knot wasn't there, and you slide your sleeve all the way up to up against the moving sleeve, and you crimp it down. Okay, just take your crimp it down, and there's your stop. Okay, all right. And I have a jig here that's already done, but you get the idea of how this is going to run. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay. All right, you can see right here, I just pull that, lift it up, and she's ready to go. I can take my jig, pop it on, and she is ready to go. Okay? Ready to go. Okay, when I'm done, pop it off, and I change it out for another one. If I want to use another one, pop it on, pull it tight, and she's ready to swim. Okay? Ready to go. All right, let me show you one more thing, guys. Let me show you one more thing here. This isn't really a necessity here. Okay? Okay. All right, sometimes we get in a hurry. I know I do sometimes, and I can actually pull this down a little bit too far. Okay? So to stop that, what I've come up with is I take a line, okay, and basically all I do is I send this line through the loop and form an overhand knot or a granny knot, whichever part of the country you're from, whatever you want to call it. Pull it tight. Okay, let me tighten it up a little bit. Okay, now pull it tight. All right, then I cut the ends off. Okay, and I cut the ends off, okay? Now, I hope you can see this, but basically this knot right here, this acts as a stop. So when I pull this, and if I should happen to pull it too tight, it's not gonna go back through. Now, what's so good about this, and I can tighten this up a little more, but what I can do here is this affords me something to grab onto. Not only is it a stop, but it affords me something to grab onto to pull it back out. And I'm ready to go. Okay? Ready to fish. Bam. It doesn't get in the way of anything. Okay? But you have to use a small diameter line for this. Okay? You can't, I would suggest that if you're going to tie this, use the same diameter line that you're using to tie this, or smaller. Okay, so put this on, pull it tight, bam, she's ready to go, ready to swim. Okay, man, this looks so good I want to bite it. Okay? So anyway, that's it, guys. And look, again, I've said this in some of my other videos before. You probably could buy these in the store, and I haven't seen them, but I'm sure they're around, especially up in the northern part of the state of the United States. But you know what? It is something about doing this yourself and then catching a fish on it. That's a complete package in itself. You do it from start to finish, and this is something that you did yourself. Alright, so that's it, guys. Listen, thanks a lot for watching. Tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Alright, so I'm a dumbass, and I just cut the line, so hold on.